The BBC breakfast star John Kay has disclosed the news of how his brother Ali was once snatched in broad daylight, and could have been permanently separated from his family. He told his son of the harrowing ordeal as part of a BBC podcast he was presenting about another British child who'd been abducted. The Cheryl Grimmer case, which involved a 3-year-old British girl being snatched from the changing rooms of a New South Wales beach, after her family had emigrated to Australia, is infamous throughout the country today. Yet, when John Kay heard the horrific story about the disappearance and realized that Cheryl had never been found, it sent a chill down his spine, as he realized in that moment how close his brother had come to possibly meeting exactly the same fate. Becoming instantly obsessed with the case, his interest led to him becoming the presenter of the episode Fairy Meadow 1, When the Wind Changed. John narrated while his son audibly bounced a ball in the background, which then prompted him to open up on his own experiences during the podcast. "I've become so obsessed with this case on the other side of the world," he exclaimed, confessing how it reminded him of something that happened in our own family. "I was about 7 and I went with Grandma into a shop to buy a birthday present for a friend of mine," he began. His son interrupted by jokingly asking of his childhood, "You had friends?" However, the mood soon changed and he became transfixed on the sinister story. "Uncle Ollie was a baby and he was in a big pram, so we left him outside," John explained. "When we were queuing up at the till about 10 minutes later, I looked out the window and the pram had gone, so we came out of the shop. Grandma was just crying and I was crying. Then, this man came running up towards us and said, 'Is he in a big blue pram? I think we've found him. Follow us.' What happened next emulated what John would go on to describe as scenes from a movie, with a large group of worried onlookers running to find out what was going on. To his horror, he discovered his baby brother was being wheeled away by a stranger and was merely a few seconds away from the door being closed behind him, trapping him in someone else's home. We get down there and this lady is trying to pull the pram up the steps into her house through the front door," he recalled. "I think she had dementia and she thought that was her baby. I remember those 10 minutes felt like 100 minutes. What happens when the minutes become hours, become days, become weeks, become years, become decades? I can't imagine what that would be like." His horrified son mused, "This is what freaks me out, they could still be alive, your brother could have been somewhere else for the rest of your life and you might have never found out. That's the thing I find crazy." John felt an immediate connection with the story of Cheryl Grimmer, who, chillingly, disappeared from a beach while under the supervision of a brother exactly the same age as he had been when his own brother went missing. He further related to the family because they had also been from Bristol, but this family, like thousands of Britons, had packed up and left cold, wet Britain to immigrate down under. Back in the 1960s, it was a long and grueling journey dubbed the Kangaroo Route, with the family forced to hop in and out of airports in the Middle East and Southeast Asia multiple times to refuel along the way. It can't have been easy making a trip like that with 4 young kids, but the Grimmers thought it would all be worth it because there was an exciting new life awaiting them. Little did they know in a few months everything would be turned upside down when Cheryl was taken. John's documentary can be downloaded via BBC Sounds, Fairy Meadow 1. When the Wind Changed, BBC Sounds.